Hey bookish friends, I'm just gonna film a quick video here. I've been sick, so haven't had much energy, and then my kids been sick, so dealing with that just hasn't left much time for filming or feeling up to filming. So I decided I really wanted to do the end of the year tag. I've seen I think it was Tiffany, A Beautiful Minutia, and Chantel at Chantel Reads All Day. I think they've already done this tag. And I really wanted to do it while it was still November, and we still have like 6 weeks left in the year. So the first question is, are there any books you started this year that you need to finish? Need? No. But I would like to finish this Christian Heroes Then and Now missionary biography for Cameron Townsend. I started listening to this with my kids, and it's just been a struggle to find time to fit in some of this stuff from last year that we really enjoyed, including our missionary stories. So my hope is during the 3 weeks we have off during Christmas, that we can play the audiobook, do some puzzling, and at least get this one off of our plate. But everything else that I've started, I'm pretty confident I'm gonna finish by the end of the year. Do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? Maybe. It doesn't really feel like autumn anymore. It's creeping up to the middle of November, and we got our first snow, and it wasn't the usual dusting that we got. We got like more than 4 inches of snow, which is very unusual for us for early November. My kids are out and enjoying it, and it's great, but doesn't really lend itself to autumnal reads. Although I would like to read this Patchwork Mysteries book, Time to Share, because I believe it is set in autumn. Let's look at the first sentence. Maybe not. Maybe it's not set. Well, there's fall leaves on it, so maybe that's what made me think it is. This is Sarah decides to make a quilt depicting her favorite view from Mount Greylock. She hikes to the area, bringing her granddaughters a sketchbook and a camera. The girls videotape each other goofing off at the top of the hill, and later Sarah notices something odd in their footage. A man, barely visible through the bushes, struggling with something on the ground. Who is he? What is he doing there? Yes. I read the first one. We'll see about the second one. I think my furnace is gonna kick on. Yeah. Okay. I'll be back. Okay. I don't know if my camera angle changed or not. My tripod got moved. Question 3. Is there a new release you're still waiting for? No, actually, most of the books that I wanted to read came out already. I got my pre-orders for Shatona's books, and Skipping Winter came out last week, and yeah, so not still waiting for anything. What are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? Okay, I have 3 books left on my 25 to read in 2025 list that I have not started. Saints and Monsters by Ellen McGinty is one of them. What could be worse than a stolen heart? With her crooked spine and reckless heart, Princess Mira always knew she wasn't meant to become Queen of Ezo. But when her sister, the rightful heir, is cursed on the eve of her coronation, Mira must defend her kingdom from ruthless invaders taking the throne. Yet, while some countries have simple coronations, in Enzo, the princess must first claim a sea dragon. Interesting. I love a good dragon book. And then Winterheart by H.D. Fox. A prince in hiding, an apprentice mage healer. In a land of snow and ice called Era, the Iridian Prince Fane Stagrunner finds himself running from the only life he has ever known. He's thrown into a world of magicians, relics, healers, and a mystery that may mean the end of everything he loves. And Tales from the Perilous Realm by J.R.R. Tolkien. Like I've said before, this has 5 of his short stories. I've read 2 of them, So I'm still not sure if I'm going to reread the other two or just read the 3 that I haven't read before. And let's see if I can find one. There's a leaf in here. There's pretty illustrations by Alan Lee. And question 5, is there a book you think could still shock you and become your favorite of the year? This one has potential because it's fantasy and dragon, but it's going to be pretty difficult to top out the Firebird books and Ember Gold and Hard Red Blood Blue. So, but it has potential because Chantel recommended it and we have similar tastes in books. Have you already started making plans for next year? Yes, I have. I've been thinking about my goals a bit. I am going to do a 26 books to read in 2026, but that will probably be the last time I do a 20 whatever in whatever year it is, just because now that it's become more than 2 books a month, it's really become more difficult for me to get them read. That may change if like this year I challenged myself, like, no series books. It has to have been something I've wanted to read for more than 6 months. When I made my list in December, it had to have been like more than 6 months on my want to read list, and I increased the amount of nonfiction on the list. I'm not sure if I'm going to increase it again for next year or not. And I think that just maybe was too challenging, and so I will most likely get them read by the end of the year, but it's gonna be close. So we'll see how next year goes, and whether actually allowing myself to put series books on there and books I really want to read on there, if that will change what I actually get to. And yeah, I think I'm going to go with actually fewer goals for next year, just because I know in August of next year I will then be homeschooling all 4 of my children, and it's been a struggle this year with 3. So let me know if you did this tag, want to do this tag, or want to answer the questions to this tag down in the comments. And if not, tell me one of the books that you plan on reading before the end of the year. And until next time, happy reading.